Alright, made it back with another video. I thought I'd start this one off with the progress on those yellow Delta guppies that were born in the last video. Because they were not looking too good in the last video. They were kind of laying on a giant medicine ball of a yolk sac. And you can see there's quite a few in here. They have the pink stomachs because they ate the live baby brine shrimp I put in before I started filming. They might be some more in there. Probably about 20 in there, maybe a little more than that. But they all developed normally to be able to swim, except for the two dead ones, of course. They did not develop in any way. And I took them out of the tank. So they're pretty much all over here, which is pretty good. All I did was I took the female out, put her back into her tank with the breeder males, and I left these babies in a small, I think it's a half-gallon container, obviously with some thin leaf water sprite. But you can see they don't have color yet, but they're kind of a yellowish body, a blonde body, I guess. Trying to get this focusing on a plant, I think. There we go. So these are little guys and gals, but they're doing really, really good, and they're eating like pigs. So I put in all the video descriptions what I feed the fish, which is basically one feeding of live baby brine shrimp, a feeding of the high protein foods I mix up, and the third feeding is either the flake foods I mix up. I mix up a meat one and also a veggie blend one, or a couple times a week I'll give the fish, not the babies, larger fish, some frozen adult brine shrimp, but not too often, because the older fish I don't want to get fat and chesty, so they mostly get the other regimen. So anyway, these are the yellow Delta fry. I guess they're about 6 days old now. Let's see if we can get a close-up on them. And it's pretty cool because I think they were born premature, because I went and netted that female out a little too soon, I guess. But they developed well already, so they should do fine. This will be hard to see, but there's like 7 or 8 fry in here. There we go. And these were born yesterday, actually. So I guess I can tell them some jokes. They were born yesterday. These are the first fry I've gotten from, and I'll probably screw up the name, the Metalhead snakeskin blue tails. I might have got that name right. Maybe I can see them better from the top. There we go. I think there's 7 in there. They were also just fed some live baby brine shrimp. They're doing good. Neither female looks like she had fry, which is a great sign. Obviously, one of them had fry, but they didn't thin out, which is really good. Usually, you get small drops of fry with younger females. I'd guess those females are roughly 4 months old, and I guess it would be smart to show them soon, so I'll add that in a little while. And what do elves learn in school? The alphabet. The alphabet. Hey, there are my fingers. See if I can get off to the side here. Now, these are not snow white albinos. This is just a photo tank. This is not the tank they're in. There's a lot of scratches on this photo tank. What the heck's going on with that? But very nice fish. They're filling up. A friend of mine mailed me some fish last week, and these are the albino half-black pastels. So I'm very interested to see what these end up looking like. I think they're going to be a bit of a bluish tint, and they don't have as much of the coloration on the body like the snow white albinos do. So that's kind of interesting right there. Pretty much tells you that the snow white albinos are a completely different thing. These are probably the albino version of half black pastels, like I said, because he called them albino half black pastels. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's what they are. Because I lost my train of thought while I was talking. So forget all that. What do you know? What do you call two birds in love? They're tweethearts. Tweethearts. I'll say it a third time, maybe it'll sound better. Anyway, so that's them. There's some young snow white albinos in here. You can see they look pretty different. Their white coloration hasn't started yet. And so anyway, that's what they look like. A little bit different. And the last thing he sent me, if I can get this thing to focus, much like I can never focus. These really haven't colored up at all yet, so there's not too much to see. But these are red lace snakeskins, the albino version. Now they're starting to get the red color in the dorsal. I'm trying to get this to focus. And I'm trying to see if any of the anal fins have started to sharpen, because that would be kind of a dead giveaway that they're going to be males. I don't know when the snakeskin pattern will come in. And let me back up a bit. These are kind of screwing up the camera there. That's probably going to be a male, that one on the left. I think the anal fin is starting to sharpen. That's going to be a female, that one right there. Or it is a female. And that would be a male. So I'm not sure how old these are. I forgot to ask. That's going to be a male. And snakeskin pattern, like I said, I don't know when that'll come in. Now eventually I'm going to cross some of these in with my snakeskins. Probably not the ATFG ones, but the other snakeskin line that I have been working with for about 10 years. I mentioned before I used to enter them in IFGA shows when we had the shows. They were variegated snakeskin, or snakeskin variegated was the class. I think I finished third in 2019, because there were no shows in 2020. So that's pretty good. I skipped a couple of shows, and one show I didn't have any place, so getting third place in the country was great. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen with these. Right now, these are in a 2.5 gallon tank. There's some thin leaf water Sprite. Back out a little bit. Small tank. I use them to acclimate fish and to grow out fry for a couple of weeks. And then these, once they're done the acclimation, will go into a 10 gallon tank downstairs. So that's kind of what's going on with some of the new fish. Thought I'd show them. I'll show the, I'll get the name wrong, Metalhead snakeskin blue tail. Yeah, I think I got it right. Next, and then I'll show you an update on the electric baby blue acaras, or their baby electric blue acaras is what they really are. So I'll do that next, so you have that. And you can see that they're still alive. They're actually doing fantastic. Obviously the key was blocking off the sides of the tank so that the pair couldn't see what was next to them. Although I took the blockade thing off of the tank that was next to them that had guppies, because they don't really care about them. They're mostly small ones anyway. So anyway, this is the albino red lace snakeskins, and I will show you the metal snakeskin somethings next. Alright, so you can't really see, or I can't, which one of these had fry. Possibly that one there, because there's less of a gravid spot. That's the male. These are beautiful. I really was hoping that the tail of the male would get darker to match the front part, but that hasn't happened yet. But I can't complain one bit about how beautiful these fish look. So the fry will go into their own tank pretty soon. They're just in a small plastic container for right now. And you can see that female most likely did not have the fry. She'll probably have some in about a week, because the back where she's pooping has to drop down a little bit, and then once she dilates, they'll be close to having some fry. So pretty cool. Beautiful fish. It's great to get some fry out of them, and I'm hoping to get some more fry out of the other one, and then we'll see what I can do with them. So what do you call a droid that takes the long way? R2-D-Tour. R2-D-Tour. That joke is terrible. All right, let me get the Electric Blue Acaras on there. And I'm already Electric Blue Acaras with their fry. I think the fry are 2 weeks old. I'll have to look back on some of the videos that I first showed them in. I think the fry are starting to get that blue tint. A little tough to focus on them, but they look good. They've been eating like crazy. I've been feeding them live baby brine shrimp once a day. I was also feeding them frozen baby brine shrimp once a day until they got bigger. They're definitely big enough now to give them still the live baby brine shrimp, which they're eating now. And I also just give them some other flake foods I mix up. So the parents are really great this time. That's the male. And at some point in the next week or two, I'm going to move the pair out. I think I can catch them without screwing anything up. The pair I've been feeding some flake food and also some pellet food. Might be easier to get these knuckleheads on here, but you can definitely see the color is starting to come in. There's really a ton of them. I mean, I'm sure I've lost a few, but certainly not very many. So this was an amazing amount of eggs that they took care of until they hatched. So I was able to get in there and do a water change. I waited till everybody was on the other side of the tank, and then I got in there and did 30%. The water is always a little bit brownish, and that's because I use Tetra black water extract a little bit in the tanks for the blue acaras. I also use it when I had angelfish. Right now I don't have any, but I'm going to be getting some more pretty soon. Haven't decided which ones I want to get, but I have a couple of tanks I can devote to angelfish again. Because for me, most of the lower rack tanks don't do so well with the guppies. I think it's my fault. I think I forget to do a water change because I don't feel like bending over maybe. I don't know. So I keep axolotls in the lower tanks. Blue acaras, the two crebenza pair, which are two pair actually. One of the pair is cohabitating in one of the caves, so that's a great sign. But anyway, I thought you'd like an update on the Electric Blue Acaras and the fry, and also show one more thing over here. I've been showing the from time to time the blue deltas. Now I did save most of the batch from the original pair, or actually I think it was the original two pair, which are both now gone. But if this guy slows down, I still have to work on the dorsal, but I actually am getting delta tails on some of them. Maybe it's easier to get this guy. There we go. Hey, you can kind of see that's pretty much a delta tail. It could be a little wider. This one's getting the better dorsal. It's already a little bit longer, but these are young fish, so I'll just see what happens. But I love the color, and you know, I made sure I took my next group of breeders out with the ones that had the delta tail. The other ones growing out have more like a veil tail or a flag type tail. But it's good news that they're giving some that have delta tails. That's half the battle. The color's down right. The tail's decent. I just got to work on the dorsal. So that's the one with the better dorsal. So I have a couple of females in there with them. And we'll see what ends up happening. I think I put 3 females in and 2 males. So anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's staying safe, staying away from the crazy people. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, or you can send me an email. I put my email address in the description of every video lately. So, got a nice update on a bunch of different things, and I'll be back with another video pretty soon.